So I fixed the hiss on my UX1 by upgrading to a Scarlett Focusrite. What is up, Yoshis? My name is Beth. I run Steadfast Ascent, and today I'd like to compare for you the Scarlett Focusrite Solo with the Line 6 UX1. Let me tell you, I've used the UX1 for like 8 years. So upgrading didn't really make sense for me, but I could not solve the hiss. Could not solve the problem. It was just constant. As soon as I started using XLR mics, it was like no matter what cable I used, whether that was an XLR cable or a USB cable, no matter what settings I used, and I used a lot of different settings, I could not keep my UX1 from making hiss on my vocal takes. I got the Scarlett Focusrite, plugged it in, haven't heard any hiss. So let's just, break it down a little bit. The setup on the UX1 is like very difficult. You have to register it with Line 6 and go through this entire process that I had to make a whole video about because it was so confusing. And then it works fine. But you have to have all of this extra software on your computer to use it. Whereas with the Focusrite, I kind of just pretty much plugged it in and then I was using it. Now you can register the Focusrite. And if you do, most of the units come with a bundle of software, which is super prima, especially if you're just getting started. Like I'm telling you, this is a really great interface to start with. But yeah, in terms of getting it set up with Mac, Line 6 loses, and the Scarlett Focusrite was plug in and play. Furthermore, with my UX1, I often had issues going from the guitar input to the microphone input. Now, I realized later that it was very simple and I just had to choose the right input out of the 4 inputs that were available on the UX1. But for a long time, I literally had to go into the PodFarm software and manually change which input I was transferring from. On the Scarlett Focusrite, it's really not that hard. There's only 2 inputs. There's an instrument input and there's a microphone input, so you just have to select the right one. That's so easy. Like I said, I had hiss on my UX1. Instantly fixed with the Scarlett Focusrite. Now, in terms of it being an interface, they're both interfaces. They have 2 inputs each, an XLR input and a 1/4 inch input, and their monitoring is really easy on each of them. You just turn the monitor switch. In terms of setting the gain for your inputs, it's just a knob. Pretty easy on each system. Other than the fact that I couldn't solve my hiss, they really were comparable. But since I've been having a hiss problem, and the Focusrite has completely fixed it, listen, henceforth I am only recommending the Scarlett Focusrite, especially since you can get a really good price on them if you get them used, although you might still have issues getting the software bundled together if the previous owner didn't do the deregistering. So should you upgrade like I did? I don't know, if you're having issues with hiss, this might be the solution for you. Before you leave, would you let us know what interface you're currently using and what your favorite thing is about it? And until the next time, see you around.